Hey guys, so we're gonna make a silly hat. This is my first installment in my new video series where I'm gonna try to create fiber art videos that are very clear, very concise, very easy to understand, and thorough. So this is going to be a full step-by-step tutorial. I will be showing every step. I will probably do it in 20-minute installments. So we're going to make this really cute bonnet. This is a 2T size. I will be making other sizes, but right now I have a 2T size. And what makes it cute is that it has this little asymmetrical, I don't know what you call that, part that frames your face. And it has two cute little baubles on top. I have found that on baby hats, when I put the bauble part on the back, the hat tends to fall off the child's head. And when your 2-year-old also doesn't want to be wearing a hat but needs to wear a hat because of the wind or the cold, I found putting them up here helps keep the hat on the head. It helps balance it better. So this is the 2T size, like I said. It's using worsted weight, heavy worsted weight or Aran weight yarn. I am using this yarn that you guys know I got for free. If you would like to get a 10% discount, they've given me an affiliate code. It is in the description. It's from Anasa. It ships from Canada. It's $15 Canadian, which I believe is like $11 USA, and you can get 10% off. And I also will make 10% commission. I'm just letting you guys know. But you can make about 6 hats from this. I made this hat, and I'm about to make the one that I'm going to show you guys. And then I'm going to make an adult size hat and a hat for my 3.5-year-old, and I plan on just still using this whole skein of yarn because this is a lot of yarn. I think it's like 430 yards. So this is today's hat, and we're gonna get started. You will need, I would say, 100 yards, probably a little less, but let's just say 100 yards, just to be safe. I didn't count, and a different color for the baubles. And I'm using a 5mm crochet hook. So in this part of the video, we're just going to form the crown of the hat right here, and we're going to be working in the round. We're going to start off with the magic loop. So take your yarn and fold it over 2 fingers like this. I have an in-depth video if you're having trouble with this or you're new. You're going to pull up a loop, and then I'm simply going to chain 2. And the chains do not count as stitches unless otherwise noted. There is one part in this pattern where your chains are going to count as stitches. And now I'm going to do 9 double crochets into this loop. I'm going to be double crocheting over both of these lines. I want to tell you guys there is a PDF pattern for download. I'm making this one available for free. So download the PDF if you don't want to have to follow along with the whole video. If you already know what you're doing and you just need step-by-step written instructions, go ahead and just download the free PDF pattern. Usually I charge 99 cents for my patterns, but since I haven't made any in a while and I want to build up, I guess, interest in a following, I am offering this one for free. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One more. All right, then you're going to pull. So then we're going to slip stitch into the very top of our first double crochet, not the chain 2, you just skip the chain 2, and then I'm going to chain 2 more. So right now we have 9 stitches, and now we're going to increase to 18 stitches by doing 2 double crochets into each loop. So the place where you did that slip stitch, you're going to do 2 double crochets and then in each double crochet across, you also want to do 2 double crochets. So you're taking 9 stitches and going to 18. My husband and I have been arguing a lot lately. We've been under a lot of stress because he's been working late. When I was a teenager, I always thought, well, if I love somebody, we'll never argue. My husband and I argue a lot. We didn't really argue that much before we had kids because we both were able to devote a lot of time to communication and to our own self-care. But with 2 kids, and all the things we do now, the cleaning, the cooking, and the working, the budgeting, I'm just learning more about each other and the things that we struggle with. I have not been able to communicate very well with him, and it's very wearying on our relationship. But we're still devoted to each other. When we argue, we both try to pause and look at each other and say, you know what? We are on the same team. Like, we're sitting here arguing and we're thinking of each other as the adversary, but no, the problem is the adversary, and you and I are on the same team, and usually that helps us calm down. So for the next round, we're going to chain 2, and then we're going to do 1 double crochet in the first stitch and the increase in the next stitch. So 2 double crochets in the same stitch. So we're going to be increasing by 9 again. So it's going to be 27 stitches all the way around, not counting the chain 2. So we're going to repeat this around: 1 double crochet in the first stitch, 2 double crochets together in the second stitch. Another thing my husband and I try to do when we're arguing, well, first of all, he's a really good listener. I'm the fiery one who just wants to say all the things and get all of her feelings out. My husband is more of the quiet peacemaker. He's a peacemaker, and I have to remember that and not overstep my bounds with him, because I can really easily push him around, and that's not good. So we both have to learn to compromise, learn to give and take. Right now we're trying an extreme budget. Well, I guess it's not extreme. It's probably a normal budget, but as you guys know, I suffer from impulse buying, and I'm in recovery from that. I'm working really hard to be in recovery from that. But I'm really impulsive. I've lost my train of thought. But yeah, I was talking about arguing. We had an argument today because he wanted to buy a bunch of things for the keto diet. He's on the keto diet right now, and my son and I and my daughter are just doing dairy and gluten-free. And we just both had to take a step back and say, we both can't have what we want. We need to find a middle ground and buy some keto things because you're keto. I do make keto meals for us. They're dairy-free keto so that we can all eat them, and usually I will make a carb side for me and my son, since we run on carbs, not ketones, because it's easier than cooking 2 meals a day. Like, I can't cook 2 dinners, one for my husband and one for us. I would literally die. So we were stressed about our budget, and we both just had to take a step back and say, phew, we need to compromise. So you're going to slip stitch into the top of that double crochet again, you skip the chain 2. Here's my chain 2 right here. See 1, 2, and here's the top of that first double crochet that I slip stitched into. And then we're going to chain 2 again, and you probably guessed, if you know a crochet, what we're going to do now is 1 double crochet in the first stitch, 1 double crochet in the second stitch, and 2 double crochets in the third stitch for the increase by 9. We're going to be adding 9 stitches again this round. Alright, then just go around 1, 2, 1, 2. Another thing that I've really been struggling with is trying to find out who I am while still being a mother and a wife. I got married when I was 27, and it was awesome. We had a great first year of marriage. But then when I had kids, it just seemed like my anxiety and my stress and my loneliness and my questions and my, I don't even know, self-identity just got all scrambled up together and confused. Parenting is amazing. I love my kids. They're wonderful, but boy, is it demanding and hard, and I'm very tired and I need sleep, and I don't want to mince words. I need Jesus daily. It's almost daily that I call out to God, and I think, I cannot do this anymore. I do parent mostly by myself. I have chronic illnesses. I have children sometimes that don't sleep. It has been a whirlwind, and we want to have more kids because kids are a blessing. And I finally realized that God doesn't want me to be happy. I mean, He wants me to be joyful. He wants me to have the joy and peace of God in my heart, but happiness or contentment or an easy life is not something that God wants for me right now, and I have to be okay with that, and I have to thank my blessings. So thank God I don't have cancer. Thank God I have my sight, and I have hearing. I can hear. I try to thank God for what I do have. Like, thank goodness I have a husband who is able to work, even though he does struggle with chronic anxiety and his own set of mental illnesses and chronic illnesses. Thank goodness I have a supportive, amazing husband who loves me, who takes care of me, and who is devoted to our family. So I tried to think about all those things, and another thing I found is that serving others really helps take my mind off myself and my own problems. Because I can throw myself a very large, very adult pity party tantrum, and I don't want that. All right, there is the, let's see, third row done. No, the 1, 2, 3, 4. That would be the 4th round done. And once again, I'm going to chain 2, and now we are going to do 3 double crochets. 1, 2, 3, and then the increase in that 4th stitch, we're going to be increasing by 9 again. We should have 45 stitches, not counting that this chain 2 doesn't count as a stitch, so 45 double crochets. So we're going to repeat that 1, 2, 3 double crochet, and then 2 double crochets in the same stitch all the way around. It's nice to be alone in my house with my kids at Walmart with my husband. My daughter is just getting old enough, she's 15 months now, where, she doesn't need to breastfeed 24/7. And my husband can take her out. She drinks water now. She really doesn't breastfeed as much as she did the first year of her life. She has cut back a little bit, but she is definitely still breastfeeding a lot at night, and that can be really demanding. She doesn't sleep through the night, guys. I have not slept through the night since my daughter was born. I was lucky enough that my son, we got him all transitioned to his own bed. When I was pregnant, I think I was around 6 months pregnant with my daughter, and I was able to get my first night's sleep completely through the night. It was restorative to my soul. And it was about 3 months that I was able to sleep through the night, more or less. I mean, when you're pregnant, you do wake up with aches and pains. You wake up to pee sometimes, but waking up to pee and waking up, you know, with restless leg syndrome or whatever, it's totally different than being woken up and having to care for a child. So that was really great. So, but since that time, I have not slept through the night, and I really need some sleep. So we are probably going to start sleep training my daughter soon. And we don't do the cry it out method. Like, I believe no human should be left alone to cry and to figure out their emotions or their emotional well-being on their own. Even I, myself, you know, I'm 33 now. When I am emotionally upset, I turn to people for comfort. And so when my children are crying, I feel like they need to learn. Of course, they need to learn how to deal with their emotions, but as their children, I have to teach them by modeling that behavior and by walking them through it. So we don't do the cry it out. We do gentle sleep training. So where I will, if she's crying, we haven't started yet, but with my son, I would put him to bed, and if he cried, I would go in and snuggle him until he fell back asleep and then try to sneak away. And I would just keep doing that until he learned to sleep on his own, because he's a person and he's worthy of respect. I'm not trying to guilt trip anyone who does cry it out. I can't do it. I believe children are people, and that no one really figures out their own mental health on their own. I think leaving a child to cry, pediatricians and other moms will tell you to do that. But I believe leaving a child to cry is teaching them that they can't trust you with their problems, that they are alone, and that you can't help them. I think I made a mistake. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 1, 2. You know what? I didn't make a mistake because I only have 1 stitch left. I just can't count. See? 1, 2, 3, and then 1, 2 in the... You see, guys? I don't even know what I'm doing. 1, 2... And then we're going to slip stitch into the top. Let me know if you like these kinds of videos where I just do... Well, I just show all the steps and everything. Well, that is the end of part 1, and I will see you guys in part 2. Hope you guys enjoyed the chat. Bye!